Hello and welcome to Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics. I wanted to make a quick video, no fancy intro, just a few thoughts I had tonight. It's very late here in Bangkok. Just got back from a couple of nightclubs with a friend of mine. Probably should go to sleep, but a couple thoughts came to my mind. I wanted to make a quick video, stick it up there, and maybe it'll provide some information for those of you interested in the extent of our relationships with our deceased family members. And that's a big deal to me because, frankly, people can have astral projection experiences and they can go to, it doesn't matter, like galaxies far away and ancient civilizations or higher planes filled with celestial secrets of the cosmos, and I don't really care that much. What I care about are our relationships to people and our family members and things like that. That to me is more interesting and more enriching than any other kind of experience. I guess I'm kind of like a spiritualist humanist, I guess. What matters are our connections with people, and what's interesting is how those connections continue even beyond the death. And that's what we talk about on this channel, and how we can use tools, astral projection and things like that to connect with people. So that's the main topic right now. And the title of the video is Awkward Astral Family Connections or something like that. I haven't made the title yet. And it basically, I have been thinking about how those connections affect our lives here, for better or worse. But before we get started, please go down and hit that subscribe button if you like this topic. We do talk about topics like life after death, the ultimate mystery of where we go when we die, our ultimate destiny, and how we can use available tools in our consciousness to connect with the other side and learn about the afterlife and its literal conditions, what it's actually like, not new age hysteria, not superstition, not making speculation or anything like that. Real facts, and that's what I care about. That's why I've been doing this work for about 20 years. I know I don't look that old, but I am old enough to have been doing this for 20 years. So one more thing, I will mention that if you see smoke going by, it's not my deceased loved ones making contact. It's actually this incense I'm burning when I'm in places in Asia, and you can buy incense for like 50 cents, incense sticks. I like to burn it because, also it's good for meditation purposes, and creates a nice atmosphere. It's why incense sticks are so popular and why they use it to honor their ancestors. In Thailand, everywhere you go, you'll find shrines to honor people's ancestors, and that superstition has a lot of truth behind it. Because since I began doing the astral projection stuff in 2014, I've been in regular contact with my deceased family members. So it began with my grandmother. My grandmother passed away in 2012 at age like 93, and by 2015 she was coming to me in clairaudience sessions. So I'd be lying in my bed, and then her voice would pop in as clear as a bell, and we'd have a telepathic communication for like 30 minutes, and just like talking on the phone. And it was really great. It's only happened a couple times. I wish it would have happened more. Then, my mother passed away. My brother passed away, then my father passed away, not long after these events, and all in recent history. And of course, I've had continuous contact with all three of them. And it's, comes and goes, sometimes as is clear, accurate experiences where I'm there in full lucid consciousness, and other times it's much more difficult. But, nonetheless, I know they're around, we all stay in contact, and the astral plane, life is not perfect for them. They still have problems and things they have to deal with, but they're better off than they used to be, I think. And that's what matters. But it's not just my immediate family members and also then my grandmother. You see, I'm very aware of people dating back, even further back into generations. And one person is William Thompson. So my name is Cyrus Thompson Kirkpatrick. And my middle name was after William Thompson. William Thompson was kind of this ultimate badass. And among other things, he kind of had this splitting image of me. So he looked like me. Very accurate. There's an old photo of him lying around somewhere. Maybe I'll even find it, if I can find it for this video, posing when he was a teenager, about to go fight in the Spanish-American War. So he was a veteran of the Spanish-American War, World War I, and in World War II, I think he was some kind of captain. And then after World War II, I mean, now he was approaching like middle age, or he was in middle age, and he had founded some kind of, I think he was founded a major bank in Texas. And so my father used to speak very highly of visiting William Thompson, and he'd be like the top level of this skyscraper, and it was kind of like you'd imagine the 1950s, late 1950s, early 60s, and he was this kind of like Mad Men style guy who was, chairman of the board. And my father always would talk about how popular he was with women. He was this heartthrob / CEO / multi-millionaire, and kind of this ultimate badass. And my father, my whole life, my father was like, Cyrus, you remind me so much of Will. You remind me so much of Will. I wish Will was around. I wish Will was around. And really, it became like the Thompson side of the family that I think there was the closest connection to in my life. Not so much the Kirkpatricks. I don't know. At the Kirkpatricks, I think we're a bit fragmented. But the Thompsons, off of my grandmother's side, they have a big house on the astral plane. And it's actually, I should say, a mansion. And I haven't been there, but I've heard about it through my father, who's deceased. And I actually received some letters on a couple of birthdays ago, astrally. And let me just back up. I mean, if you don't understand the full extent of my astral experiences, it's like I have another life there. I have, even a fraction of the proper memories, but I have a life there. And it's weird, the correlations. Like, why would you get a letter if you can just go anywhere you want? And I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. But it was, I received birthday notes from people a couple of years ago, and I opened them with my parents, in our home on the astral plane, and there was stuff from my grandfather and my grandmother, and they talked about Will Thompson, who was interested in stuff that I do. And I just kind of feel that they are there, watching what I do. And this is a little bit awkward, because I feel like there's this pressure, or this, this pressure basically to continue like the legacy of the family. And I worry because my brother never had kids, and I don't have any kids. And it's like, do I need to go out and make babies? Because how do I keep the Thompson family name going? How do I honor Will Thompson or my grandparents, who are not just like fictitious, analogies of people that used to exist? When you build the connections to the afterlife, it's like these are actual relatives who I can and have spoken to, who are really there, and I could physically meet and touch and see if, on a special occasion maybe, who have a house. And it's not, the thing is, I know about this because, my brother's wife had a near-death experience about a year ago, and she almost died of pneumonia, and she appeared, and she was in an induced coma in the hospital, and she appeared at the Thompson family house. And they came out to meet her, and they're like, "You're not supposed to be here yet. We're sending you back to Earth." And she went back, and she came out of the coma and recovered from this incident with no brain damage. It was really great and very scary. No, it wasn't last year. It was 2018. Thank goodness for that, because my brother would not have been able to deal with that if she passed away. And it's interesting that she would be appearing on that side, that she would be soul-bound to the Thompson house, just because even my brother, all of us were connected to the Thompson side of the family, and that's who we're part of. And these kinds of legacies are really important. My father, when I see my father, he's not there, though, because my father has this kind of shame or guilt, or doesn't feel worthy. And I asked my father after he died, like, what can I do to continue your legacy? Because my father also, he did so much in his life, and it's like, how do I honor that? My father said, look, I'm not a legacy kind of guy. So it's not a big deal. You don't have to continue my legacy on Earth. I've passed away. This is where I am now. It's fine. And it was a nice closure to that. But I don't think that his father, or rather his mom, and my grandma's father, Will Thompson, I don't know if they feel the same way. And I feel this pressure. They're all looking down at me. It's like, what are you going to do, Cyrus? And they're all happy and excited and really proud because I do this work. I am literally one in 100 million people who is trying to spread knowledge about their world to this world, and they've expressed, in no uncertain terms, how great that is, that I'm doing this work. And I know that this is at least a legacy that will help the Thompsons out. But ultimately, it's like I feel this pressure from my family that I need to go have kids and have a family and then literally continue that Thompson family legacy, to be able to join up with them, in their astral home, and to continue all of these elements. And I don't have a lot of motivation to do that, and it creates this kind of awkwardness, so I feel like if I meet with like my grandparents, who are, I think they actually connect on that side, to my great grandparents, there's this expectation like, why aren't you having babies yet, Cyrus? Where's the family? You are the heir of the Thompsons. You're the heir of Will Thompson. Will Thompson wants to know, where are the babies? Where's the family? And instead, I travel the world, live out of a backpack, and all these things. So it is a little bit awkward, but that is what it's like when you connect to that side. You no longer are just alone. You now have not only your immediate family, but grandparents and great-grandparents, and maybe great-great-grandparents. We don't know how far back it could go, but they're all, breathing down your neck all of a sudden. So it's, it has its ups and downs, and it's not always that great, because imagine for a moment that everyone is still around, and then if you can make contact with them, imagine all that pressure, all that kind of awkwardness. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a great thing, and I'm really grateful that somehow something opened up in my brain and I began having these experiences. So that's my whole family, my extended family, that's in other dimensions, and it's wonderful. But it also adds this extra level of stress in my life, because I feel like there's some kind of a legacy that I need to live up to keep this whole thing going. But I've also carved my own path, whatever it is to represent as Cyrus Kirkpatrick, and I probably should have kids at some point in my life, but if I don't have kids, then what legacy can I at least leave among the people who are into the work I do, or that it can help them, or that it can, most importantly, help the planet? Because regardless of my connections to my ancestors, who are all alive and hanging out in Astral, Texas, I have some kind of a weird, I say it like, extraterrestrial thing going on, some kind of starseed thing, which I guess is Egyptian, right? See the Ankh. And this is what I've been told through multiple mediums. And when my mother wasn't supposed to have me, so she wasn't supposed to be able to be pregnant, and if she had had a child, the child was going to die because of some kind of an immune problem, which the doctors told her. And I almost died when I was born, but then I miraculously got better. My mom had this crazy astral experience that some kind of star seed type kid was going to be born, who was coming here with a specific goal to do this kind of stuff, and sure enough, that's what I'm doing. So it's like you have your Earth ancestors and people that you're bound to, but then there's a higher level above that, which is probably ET or something like that, or even on some higher level that we can't imagine. And then you have a purpose from that side too. So it's like you have multiple tiers of family, and maybe more family related to more soul groups related to past lives. It's so complicated, and that's why We don't get full memory of all of our lives immediately when we cross over because it's just too much to deal with. Thank God. You're watching Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics. Hope you liked this little lecture or discussion. If you want to support the work, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Afterlife Topics at that $30 and up tier. You can join our private classes, behind-the-scenes interviews with guests, one-on-one coaching with me, all of that. Any patron I'm happy to talk to anytime you want, Skype or Zoom, and I can work through your experiences and your astral experiences and how to do them. All that good stuff is available if you want to work with me and keep the channel alive. It really helps. And books like Understanding Life After Death, The Afterlife and Beyond, all of that is at afterlifetopics.com. That's it for this video. I'm going to bed. That's all I have to say. Thanks for listening to this kind of personal vlog ranting about myself. Maybe it's not interesting to all of you, but maybe it was. I don't know. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.